Lassie Farm here. This is kind of a crazy short story, but from where we left off, he picked a fine day to do it then, said Uncle Rondo, and before you could say Jack Robinson flew out in the yard. What he'd really done, he'd drunk another bottle of that prescription. He does it every single 4th of July, as sure as shooting, and it's horribly expensive. Then he falls over in the hammock and snores. So he insisted on zigzagging right on out to the hammock, looking like a hat-wit. Papa Daddy woke up with this horrible yell, and right there, without moving an inch, he tried to turn Uncle Rondo against me. I heard every word he said. Oh, he told Uncle Rondo I didn't learn to read till I was 8 years old, and he didn't see how in the world I ever got the mail put up at the post office, much less read it all. And he said if Uncle Rondo could only fathom the lengths he had gone to get me that job. And he said, on the other hand, he thought Stella Rondo had a brilliant mind and deserved credit for getting out of town. All the time he was just lying there, swinging as pretty as you please, and looping out his beard, and poor Uncle Rondo was pleading with him to slow down the hammock. It was making him as dizzy as a witch to watch it. But that's what Papa Daddy likes about a hammock. So, Uncle Rondo was too dizzy to get turned against me for the time being. He's Mama's only brother and is a good case of a one-track mind. Ask anybody. A certified pharmacist. Just then I heard Stella Rondo raising the upstairs window. While she was married, she got this peculiar idea that it's cooler with the windows shut and locked. So she has to raise the window before she can make a soul hear her outdoors. So she raises the window and says, "Oh, you would have thought she was mortally wounded." Uncle Rondo and Papa Daddy didn't even look up, but kept right on with what they were doing. I had to laugh. I flew up the stairs and threw the door open. I says, "What in the world's the matter, Stella Rondo? You mortally wounded?" "No," she says, "I am not mortally wounded, but I wish you would do me the favor of looking out that window there and telling me what you see." So I shade my eyes and I look out the window. "I see the front yard," I says. Jesus, dude, what's the rush? "I see the front yard. Don't you see any human beings?" she says. "I see Uncle Rondo trying to run Papa Daddy out of the hammock," I says. "Nothing more. Naturally, it's so suffocating hot in the house with all the windows shut and locked. Everybody who cares to stay in their right mind will have to go out and get in the hammock before the 4th of July is over. Don't you notice anything different about Uncle Rondo?" asks Stella Rondo. "Why, no. He's got on some terrible-looking, flesh-colored contraption I wouldn't be found dead in, is all I can see," I says. "Never mind, you won't be found dead in it because it happens to be part of my trousseau, and Mr. Whitaker took several dozen photographs of me in it," says Stella Rondo. "What on earth could Uncle Rondo mean by wearing part of my trousseau out in the broad open daylight without saying so much as kiss my foot, knowing I only got home this morning after my separation and hung up my negligee up in the bathroom door, just as nervous as I could be. I sure don't know. And what do you expect me to do about it? Jump out the window?" They're loading my trailer. That's why it's so bouncy in here. Sorry about that. No, I expect nothing of the kind. I simply declare that Uncle Rondo looks like a fool in it. That's all, she says. It makes me sick to my stomach. Well, he looks as good as he can, I says, as good as anybody in reason could. I stood up for Uncle Rondo, please remember. And I said to Stella Rondo, I think I would do well not to criticize so freely. No, I think they're done. I gotta start her up here. I stood up for, and I said, I think I would do well not to criticize so freely if I were you and came home with a 2-year-old child I had never said a word about and no explanation whatever about my separation. I asked you the instant I entered this house not to refer one more time to my adopted child, and you gave me your word of honor you would not, was all Stella Rondo would say, and started pulling out every one of her eyebrows with some cheap Crest tweezers. Okay, I am loaded. I got the green light. We'll leave it there. This just gets more and more interesting. Why I Live at the Post Office by Eudora Welty. It's pretty strange. Pretty strange book. Thanks for watching. I think we're almost done with it. One more episode.